in high school. "Sit down, son," is what my grandfather told me. The house was quiet. There's always something special about the home you grew up in. It doesn't matter how many years go by, you can always close your eyes and remember just how it felt to be there. I listened to my grandfather, and sat down on the couch adjacent to his rocking chair. "I think you're finally old enough for me to tell you," he said solemnly. "Tell me what, Grandpa?" I asked. It was winter, and I was enjoying not only a snow day from school, but also my 7th birthday. It was early, so I still had the whole day ahead of me to round up my friends. "I'll get to that, son, but first I want to tell you a story. Something that happened to me when I was a few years older than you. It all goes back to when I was in 9th grade. The year was 1955. I was always good at math, really advanced actually, and in my day we didn't have these smart calculators to help us. That's besides the point though. Because of this I got to be a tutor for some of the upperclassmen in 8th period. I didn't mind this. I had a few friends in school, but I wasn't exactly popular. The bell rang to conclude 7th period, and after a trip to my locker, I exited the building to head across the outside corridor, and make my way to Miss Jeffrey's Calculus 2. It was fall time then, and still warm enough for the cheerleaders to be practicing outside of the gym, and that is when she caught my eye. There at the top of the pyramid was Cindy Calico. "Who is that, Grandpa?" I asked. "Oh, my son, she was the most beautiful girl in all of Mississippi." I was frozen in my tracks. I couldn't look away, her auburn hair glistening in the sun. They were practicing with the record player out, and the words of Elvis filled the air. "I can't help falling in love with you." The chorus rang out. I must have been there for about 15 seconds before I felt a force barrel into me and push me to the side. That force had a name. "Move it, ankle biter," he said, blowing past me. It was Chad Lizard, captain of the football team and a freshman's worst nightmare. He walked into the pack of cheerleaders, now talking and giggling amongst themselves. He went right up to Cindy Calico. "Hey baby," he said as he tipped her over in his arms, and delivered a long passionate kiss. The cheerleaders gave a drawn-out "aw." When Chad lifted her back up, she was blushing, but still had a giant smile on her face. He then twirled her around and they did a perfectly choreographed dance routine. This drew a loud applause from everyone. That wasn't enough for Chad though. He did 3 backflips, and when he landed he took a bouquet of flowers out from his Letterman's jacket. "For you, my love." The crowd went crazy. I watched from behind Mrs. Lucas' sedan, wishing it was me instead. That was when the bell rang. "Rats, I'm gonna be late for class." I hurried along, and made my way to 8th period, spending it mostly daydreaming about Cindy Calico. The school day finally ended. It was a Friday. Jeff and Gordon planned on coming over after school, and we'd spend the rest of the day reading comic books, or maybe make a trip down to the Lunchbox for burgers and ice cream. We met out front of the school, and all gathered our bikes. The football players were getting ready for their game that night, and I overheard a group of them talking as they carried their pads to the bus. "Oh yeah, we're getting so bent tonight," one of them said. "Chad's bringing Cindy and her crew, so you know it's gonna be a good time once the ladies get a few beer in them." Now back then, besides the Lunchbox, there was only one other place where the kids met up, and it was reserved for people a lot cooler than us. The Eastview Water Tower. I got on my bike, and we pedaled away, passing the cheerleaders' bus. I didn't say much on the ride home. Jeff and Gordon did most of the talking. We went to my house, and did what we usually do until around 6 p.m. That's about when the school's lunch wore off, and we knew it was dinner time. We rode our bikes across town, but we were surprised to see the Lunchbox was constricted in yellow tape. There was a man outside, and we pedaled over to him. "Sir, what's going on here?" Gordon asked. "Power's out on this whole side of the street. They had to shut down for the day until we get it fixed." We all looked at each other puzzled. "Well, that ruins our plans," said Jeff. We sat there bummed out for a few more minutes. "Well, I do have one idea. My old man keeps carrot soles on ice in the outside fridge. I think he forgot about them because they've been out there for an entire month. You're not saying what I think you're saying? Asked Gordon with an eyebrow cocked. We rode back as fast as we could, making a stop first at the outside fridge, and second at my tree house. My folks were working 36-hour shifts for the night, so we knew we wouldn't get caught. After a few drinks, Jeff surprised us with the 3 cigarettes he swiped earlier this week. I was saving them for a moment like this. Life was good, just 3 friends laughing and having a good time. We talked about baseball, and some girls from school. It wasn't long before I remembered Cindy Calico at the top of the pyramid. I said out loud, "Monday at school, I'm going to talk to Cindy." My friends burst into a fit of laughter. "You're going to talk to Cindy Calico?" "Yeah, right." Maybe I did have a little too much carrot so in me because I then replied, "Oh yeah. How about I talk to her tonight?" They looked at each other. "Okay, Brainiac, how are you going to talk to her tonight? Not to mention even if you did, Chad Lizard would have your neck." "I have an idea," I replied. "We're going to go to East View Water Tower tonight." "Are you crazy?" They both said simultaneously. "I'm sane as a fox." "Come on, what's the worst thing that could happen? They could cuss out?" "I say it's worth a try." They both shrugged. "Or we get hung on a flagpole by our undergarments." "Come on, you know what Chad Lizard did to Lenny Tramley. We all have each other's backs," I said. "I don't think he could get all 3 of us. Besides, I think it's worth it." They agreed and it was settled. We were to gather our things, get dressed, slick our hair back, and make our way to the water tower. We all went back into my house, and got ready, trying to make ourselves look as cool as a freshman could. The news played on my TV in the background. We've been getting reports of a radioactive leakage on the outskirts of Mississippi, leading to the possibility of power outages in the area. Please be advised. You hear that, guys? I yelled. I bet that's why the power was out at the Munchbox. It was finally time to shine. We all got on our bikes. The sun had already disappeared, and the moonlight reflected off our bicycles. We rode through town square and up the trail leading to the water tower. We could see the lights of cars, and could hear people singing, and partying on. When we got to the top of the hill there was a giant circle, around one of the cars. They had one of the doors open and music was coming from the 8-track inside. The tower was packed with people. It was already past midnight. One of the football players was sitting on the hood of the car, and requested the music to be stopped. One of the burlier, bigger players went inside and cut it. The guy on the hood was Chad Lizard. He brushed his bowl cut out of his eyes. Now I just wanna say a few words. Tonight we played a hell of a game, gentlemen. I passed for the state record, and will probably go to the pros now because of that, but I couldn't have done it without you, or the support of my amazing girlfriend. So, this one is for her. He took out a guitar pick from behind his ear and started strumming. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. All the girls I even saw one of the cheerleaders tear up and run off because of the beauty of his voice. You could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in. Now everyone was clapping melodically. Chad Lizard stood on the hood of the car, and gave the performance of a lifetime. I would understand. Everyone was having such a good time. I looked at my friends confused. Are people really falling for this trouser snake? Chad finished off his song, and opened his eyes. Everyone erupted in applause. Thank you, thank you. I noticed something move down by the tire of the car he was standing on. It was green and glowing. I must have not been the only one because someone yelled, "Chad, look out." Just then the music came back on from the radio, and Chad slipped off the hood, and fell into whatever was behind the car. We could no longer see him back there, and everyone was quiet for a moment, creeping closer and closer to see. Then all of a sudden he leapt up back on the hood. His skin was green and scaly. He didn't look like a human anymore, no. He looked like a lizard man. Everyone screamed and started to run off. We ran back to our bikes. I looked back and Cindy was just standing there frozen. "Come on!" yelled Gordon. "We have to go." I ran over and grabbed Cindy. She came with me and got on the handlebars of my bike. We started riding down the hill, as fireballs whizzed past our heads. We were all scared, but we ended up making it out okay. The end. "Wait, but Grandpa?" I asked. "Yes, boy. What happened after with Lizardman, and the girl Cindy?" Just then Grandma came in with my eggs and chocolate milk. "Well, Sonny, you're looking at Cindy right here." "Really?" I exclaimed. "Oh, is he telling you that darn Lizardman story?" I told him you were too young to be hearing that. "It's okay, Grandma. I tell you one good thing that came out of him. We sold that song we sang to a band, and used the money to buy this very house. In a way I think he wished he would have stepped back from that ledge." I finished my breakfast, and went out with my friends that day. I didn't tell them the story because that's private family business, but I did think about it a lot. We started building a snowman in the front yard. Right when we were about to put the head on, a man I've never seen before walked past us on the sidewalk. He dropped a piece of paper on the ground. "Hey mister," I yelled. "You dropped something." He was wearing a hood, but when he turned around, I could see his yellow glowing eyes. He kept walking. I decided I was done playing outside for the day and told my friends I was cold and wanted to go inside. When I went in, I opened the note and read it. All it said was, "Don't think I forgot, ankle biter."
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. I would understand. The angry boy, a bit too insane, icing over a secret pain. You know you don't